Bitcoin is pushing $70,000, and the much anticipated question is, when alt season? When will the alt season actually begin? So in today's show, we'll try and disseminate and assess when that time may come. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. You can see over here, Banter Bubbles, green on the weekly, but if you go onto the hourly, it's a little bit of a different picture with a lot of the market starting to pull back over here. So a whole lot to look at. I also opened up a brand new long trade. I'll show you what that is as well. Stay till the end. Smash the like button. If we can get to 1,000 likes, I will reveal the long trade that I've taken. So smash the like button and let's get into it. So looking at the very high time frame overview of Bitcoin over here, I'm using the BLX, so the longer term Bitcoin chart over here. This has aggregated all the different price history of Bitcoin, and we've marked off the various different levels, and this is really our roadmap for what we expect for the entirety of the cycle, right? So you can see prices obviously continue to move in very, very similar fashion. We have the from low to low, 47 months, from low to low, 47 months, from high to high in the price cycles. We're between 46 and 49 months, and consequently we can assess that, well, you're looking at a potential top within the cycle, depending on where you considered the last cycle top, because we did have a bit of a double top scenario. So if you say the secondary top was a little bit of an artificial top driven by high leveraged funds, well, then you'd be looking at your potential top for Bitcoin to come in at about August to November 2025. If you want to be much more conservative and you're looking to start to exit sooner, well, the dates that are marked off would be the yellow zones over here, which would be between February and May of 2025. So at the end of the day, we should be continuing to rally for the rest of this year. I've also overlaid the total to market cap, which is, of course, all the different cryptocurrencies minus altcoins, which is the orange line over here. And you can see that for the most part, it really starts to get vertical once Bitcoin prints those all-time highs. So when alt season? Well, ultimately, that's where you expect that the altcoins are going to start to outperform. Once Bitcoin sets in an all-time high, altcoins tend to outperform because most market participants understand that your upside potential on Bitcoin becomes limited once the all-time high level has been taken out. You can see over here using the RSI as well, most of the market cycle tops are put in on this trend line, regression line that's coming in over here. You can see top was set in over there, top was set in there, top was set in there, and we're yet to cross back above the 80, which shows there is still a lot more upside potential, but not as much as you'd see in altcoins. Now, alt season is typically described as when your top 50 altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin for 90 consecutive days, right? That's when you have your alt season. And as you can see right now, that's definitely not the case. There are some altcoins which are outperforming, but not all the altcoins. So by that definition, we're not yet near alt season, right? Alt season occurs when you cross above this line. Right now, we're still fully in Bitcoin season, but I think we're closer to the end of Bitcoin season than not, and we're close to the start of altcoin season. So we'll get into that in just a moment. If Total 3 does break out of this head and shoulders formation, which, yes, it is a bit of a sloppy picture, but it does theoretically fit the technical analysis standards, which ultimately shows the left shoulder. You come in, you create a head, you have your right shoulder, you have your measured move. This would take Total 3 up to 2.3 trillion, which would result in a pretty enormous move for the altcoin sector. If you look at the altcoin sector as well, this is specifically looking at the altcoin market cap, you can see we're nowhere near that parabolic phase where ultimately you'd expect the colors to change from, a yellow orange into a bright red is where you tend to put in your major cycle tops. So we're yet to see that. We haven't even got close to those levels. If we quickly turn off some of these colors over here, we can see, well, ultimately, this is where we're at, right? We're still only halfway there. We're at the 0.5 to 0.6 region. Those are the current colors that have been printed. This is your color code by risk levels, which means nowhere near extreme risk on the altcoins. And recently, Renko has just started to flip back up, which is showing an increasingly positive sign. That's on Bitcoin on the top left. Top right, we have Ethereum also turned green, Solana turned green, Casper yet to turn green, Render turned green, Injective turned green. Now, for the most part, these are some of the stronger altcoins. I have not yet put on, the likes of the meme coins, which have been outperforming the majority of the sector. They hold a massive amount of mind share within the market right now. They grab a lot of attention, and consequently, the meme coins are still outperforming. But if you do put on things like Pepe over here, Pepe would be green as well as per Renko. Remember, Renko's job is to remove the noise and keep it simple. When it's red, you're out. When it's green, you're in. And you can see what the picture shows over here. Correction may be over. I'm going to show you some other signs which suggests that we may be in for a pretty monumental bounce within the next 2 weeks, right? And this is a signal that's worked a high probability of the time. We've used it a whole lot, and we just got a new signal. I'll show you what that is in just a moment. We have the reset in the volatility over here with the Bollinger Band squeezing in. You usually want to build up your bigger positions when there is lower volatility, right? You don't want to build massive positions based off high volatility. So when you look at Bitcoin on the right-hand side over here, and you see that the BBWP, the Bollinger Band width percentiles, are contracting into each other like this over here. This is ultimately where you want to establish your big positions, those leverage positions, right? We'll look at the funding rates as well, which have been fully reset. You don't want to be building your big, strong leverage positions in an increasing market like this as funding rates become higher and higher, because that means you're taking on unnecessary risk, right? The risk is lower to build the positions down here. So once again, we're getting the contraction of the Bollinger Bands into each other, showing the presence of low volatility. And yes, it can get lower, right? Or it can stay this low for some time, meaning the Bollinger Bands over time will squeeze in more and more. But ultimately, this is where you're trying to build those positions. And if Bitcoin is in fact in a parabola, then you expect that this signal is going to start to turn back up, firing that new volatility is coming into the market. Remember, you want to think of this like an elastic band, right? When you squeeze and pull when you pull the elastic bands apart from each other, then that's the same thing as this squeezing in, right? And then when you release that elastic band, that's the same thing as this thing turning towards the upside, and the elastic band is going to shoot somewhere, right? You don't know which way it's going to shoot. Could be up, could be down. That's why you need to use your other technical analysis skill set to determine, are we in an uptrend? Are we holding key horizontals? And as per the parabola chart, well, Bitcoin is still in a parabolic formation, right? So here it is. Ghad says it really, really nicely over here and summarizes it in terms of how do you confirm the breakout and the next wave of this parabola? Well, by printing an all-time high, Bitcoin leaves base 4 and is expected to parabolically move to the sell line, which he's got marked off over here in the $240,000 region. Now, I would suggest to you guys at home, don't focus too heavily on price targets per se, like upside targets, whether it's 150,000, 200, 400, forget that stuff. Focus more on the formations, the patterns within the chart and the trajectories, and focus more on the timing factors, right? We went over a bit of the timing factors over here. So the question is, do we go through the parabola, break it, and then reform a new reaccumulation phase and continue higher into the timing cycle like this? Or do we ultimately go into a full-blown parabola, into that wave 5 formation on an Elliott wave chart, which would ultimately leave a blow off top scenario and a left translated cycle? Well, only time will tell, right? That's why you have to have two cases. Always try to view the market from two different perspectives, right? Know the bullish case, know the bearish case, know the extremely bullish case as well, and really assess things as they are, right? Look at things as what the market is showing you. Is the parabola intact? Well, yes, according to this, it is. So in alignment with what he's showing, you have touch point 1, 2, 3, 4. You're leaving base 4 now. This was the corrective phase. And the confirmation of that breakout will be now with a closing candle above 73,273. You can expect Bitcoin will rally aggressively towards the upside. We spoke a lot about the volume coming down significantly over here, and you can see that is still the case, right? Now, if price started to increase ever so slightly off of low volume. This shows you it's smart money that are loading up for the next leg up. It's not retail, right? Retail are not here. Of course, you and I are retail, but we're more on the smarter end of retail, right? That's why you guys are here. That's why you're always here. You sit and you watch all the shows. You've been here probably for the good part of 2 years throughout the bear market. You guys were still here. So big congratulations to you. You are classified as smart money. What you'll notice is as soon as Bitcoin breaks this all-time high and new volume starts to come into the market like here, that's where we will start to do that parabolic advancement. And ultimately, again, as I mentioned, once Bitcoin breaks those all-time highs, which the next weekly close above the highs will be the first time that we convincingly breaking and closing above those all-time highs, and we're flipping that $69,000 into support. So from prior resistance into now support, that's where you expect that altcoins will begin to outperform, which is what we've seen here previously, right? The break of the all-time high is where altcoins go absolutely vertical and start to completely outperform Bitcoin. So we'll get a bit more into the altcoins in just a moment's time. You can see over here as well, if you look at the Ichimoku cloud, it is crossing bullish once again. And if you use the ADX over here, which is the blue line, it's starting to move towards the upside. We have the DI positive, which is representative of the bulls, above the red line, which is moving towards the downside. That's the DI negative. All this is telling you is that bulls are starting to take control, but really what we want to see is we want to see a pretty substantial upside move over here from the ADX, which would look like this, right? That shows you that real momentum is coming back into the market. And at the same time, we would expect that the volume for Bitcoin would start to pick up in that environment. So what is the one signal which has just fired, which suggests that we should have that continuation and the break above those highs? Well, it's this, right? Without fail, the bull and bear moons, right? So we had the bear moon, price comes down, and now we have a bull moon, right? We're looking for a potential flip over here, and price is reclaimed above all the different key levels. That being, let's just quickly move that. We're above the pivot level, meaning the RSI is trending up. We are above the mid-range, which is a significant horizontal level. We're above the 1 hour 200 exponential moving average. We're also above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame and the 9 and the 18 exponential. So this cluster of yellow becomes an incredibly strong area of support, right? So any pullbacks that occur, even if you do pull back a little bit more into this region, the expectation would be that this would just lead to a significant bounce, and eventually we're going to take out those highs. Then you need to be careful that you don't get a deviation back into the range, because if you do, you may come lower one more time, right? So we'll have our answer soon enough, but ultimately we are looking for a sweep above this level. You have over here in the lower time frame a little bit of a reset once again in the open interest. Yesterday it attempted to spike up. It's coming down. Watch the open interest. If the open interest starts to move towards the upside, whilst futures also carries through to the upside, this is the white line over here, then you know that potentially price is going to make the next attempt at those highs and sweep above 74,000. And again, in terms of looking at that BBWP, so let's go back to that chart. We'll move this up over here. So let's move the BBWP up next to that one. So if you look at Don Crypto Trades, and this is my point, right? If you look at Don Crypto Trades, he says over here, funding rates at negative to neutral for almost 2 months now. Doubt we're going to see such a prolonged period of cooling off again in the cycle. The next few corrections are likely going to be sharp and very quick, right? The ones where you bid the liquidation cascade and then the next week you up completely. So in terms of those, prolonged negative to neutral funding rates, which is what we've seen, right? That's what we've been seeing in the market. That lines up with that period of low volatility. As mentioned, this is the best time to start to scale up those positions. If you are looking to build leverage positions, it's a lower risk environment when you're in low volatility to build that up versus high volatility, right? Leverage is used in two different ways. Some people use it to increase volatility because, for example, in Forex, if you're only getting a 0.1% move, what are you going to make? 0.1% every couple of days on your trades. You can't, right? You use leverage to increase the volatility in that environment. In crypto, you can also use leverage to decrease your risk or exposure to exchanges, right? So instead of putting $100,000 on an exchange, you could put $10,000 and trade on 10x leverage. Therefore, your stop loss, you'd still be risking the same thing as if you're trading with a $100,000 account, but you only have $10,000 exposure onto the exchange. So anyway, with that being said, low volatility, you can use leverage to increase your exposure and increase the volatility for when the next move comes. So this is still the expectation. Remember, since the lows over here, this is exactly what we've been looking at. We said you sweep the one side, grab the liquidity down here. We saw it on High Block Capital. That's where we swept all those orders. That was the liquidity and took out the stops, right? These are people that built up longs, all their stop losses were there. Stop losses were there, right? Everyone placed their stops here. You sweep that liquidity, boom, and then you target the other side, which is going to be short sellers, which have put their stops over here. So we're still waiting for that. Then it's just a question of, do you break above and hold that top of the range? If you do, super bullish and you're looking for the parabolic advancement, right? The parabola that I just showed you from the tweet from 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗢𝗢. If not, you get a deviation and you come back into the range, then we'll reassess. That opens up the possibility to run another short trade, right? So that's what we're looking at over there. If you look at the longs to shorts, they are almost equal at about a 1 to 1.5, right? So for every one short, you have another 50% of people are long, 1.5 long. So and it's not skewed in any sense. It's pretty even over there. Again, showing you indecision within the market. The market is scared to choose a direction. I'm not scared to choose a direction. I chose the long side. Now, this is one of the trades that I took. I said, well, look, I shouldn't have doxed this trade because I told you guys we need to get to 1,000 likes. We're on 600 likes. So please, 400 more of you, take 1 second, literally 1 second out of your day. Just smash the like button. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button, but show me twice. Hit it twice for me. Okay, let's continue on over here. The trade that I took is SUI, right? There's a reason I took the SUI trade. Let's just go back to this chart over here. One reason that I took the SUI trade is this. So weekly time frame, you can see full reset over here on the momentum oscillators, right? Full reset on the momentum oscillators. It is starting to cross up. Now, I would imagine that most of the market will catch on if these stochastic RSIs cross above the 20 mark, which is the horizontal dash line that we have over here. If that gets above the 20 mark, you're going to see SUI will start to run pretty aggressively. It will start to become a hot narrative. The other reason I took the trade was this, right? You have the previous week's range levels, and we did start to poke the head of the candle above the previous week's high because we had a tight range over here. And this is looking like a potential reversal signal for me. Now, I am front running it ever so slightly because I know how fast these things can expand towards the upside. Now, if you do get above this level over here, that's where you have full confirmation, right? This level is $1.25, right? $1 round up to 126 because it's 1.259. If you get above 1.26 on a closing basis, your stochastic RSI is going to be pushing back into the bullish zone over there, and it's going to look like a higher low in the making. And I think this thing will expand rapidly, and I'm targeting at the very least the previous month's high, which is a pretty monumental move, right? So let's go from here to here, that would be looking like an 83% move, right? So I've taken 2 trades. One's on leverage, one's on spot. I'm going to show it to you now. If you get above and close above that level, obviously it's going to be straight continuation into new highs. And I can easily see SUI pushing up to the $3 region in that environment, right? Which would be about 171% move. So really, really nice if you have a big spot trade. Now, let's go back to SUI over here. The other reason that I took the trade is this. Okay, you can see it's been respecting these key levels pretty nicely, and this is looking like a deviation of the mid-range and a reclaim. Now, drop it onto a low time frame like the 4-hour. So let's go into the 4-hour time frame. You have been respecting this trend line as well, creating high highs and high lows. So you have low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. So I'm hoping that obviously it's going to continue to respect this. And if the broader market starts to bounce for crypto, then you could see a bigger push up, create the next higher high. And then we know we're in the money. This is actually where the safe entry comes into play, is on the next higher low, because then in that presence you have already 3 higher lows and you'll have 3 higher highs, which shows a proper confirmation of the deviation in the trend, and then you can target up to the next level, right? And then, as mentioned, a break above this level and things really start to get going. So that is the 𝗬𝗎 trade. That is the 𝗬𝗎 trade. So with that being said, I actually took the 𝗬𝗎 trade on EVO. Remember, EVO is the decentralized perpetual exchange, right? You can do options trading on here as well. They even list pre-market coins, right? People speculate on coins that haven't launched yet, like Monad, for example. Monad hasn't come out yet, but you can go and speculate on the price of Monad on EVO. If you do want to practice trading on these perpetual exchanges, then use the link below. There is a link. A lot of you had already signed up to it. So let's just look. There it is. There's the EVO link. Click on that. Again, this works through a DEX, right? So you connect your Phantom wallet or your MetaMask wallet, and ultimately it does pretty seamless perpetual trading. So the reason that I'm using it is I think it's really worth it to at least just practice on some of these decentralized exchanges, because eventually we're going to probably get into an environment where the regulation is so tight around crypto and it becomes such a mission to trade privately that the only way to do it would be through DEXs, right? So that is ultimately one of my reasons. So with that being said, okay, let's go on to this one. With that being said as well, I have a pretty substantial 𝗬𝗎 long here. Last night, I took a $50,000 position over there. You can see. I then took the other $50,000 and I put it into a grid order. So I'm scaling into this position in the event that obviously prices do come a little bit lower. I'll get more of my levels filled. Where would my stop be? Well, below those lows, right? Below those lows, because then you're starting to fully reverse the trend. The higher highs and higher lows are no longer a thing, and I was wrong on the idea. So I'm scaling down the other 50K in a grid order on BitGet over here. Speaking of which, by the way, guys, if you do use these exchange links, like the EVO, like the BitGet, it's all listed below over here. That would put you into the banter bags, right? If you can quickly pull up the banter bags. So what are the banter bags? The banter bags are a bunch of seed round investments, which we've got into as crypto banter. Now, most of you will never have the opportunity to get into these things. You have to be a venture capitalist or a vulture capitalist, right? So we have put $1,000 into each of those bags. By signing up using any of those links that are listed below, automatically you'll be in the banter bags. When this channel and Banter Plus get to a certain number, 1 million on this channel, and on Banter Plus 350,000, we're going to give away the banter bags. Now, $1,000 into each of those little pools. Just bring it up one more time for me. $1,000 into each of these typically results in about $100,000, right? So it's about a 100x gain on average that you're getting in these seed round investments. And as you can see over there, what we got, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So that alone already puts it at about $1.2 million. Now, okay, that's cool. You can take it off. At the end, we'll give these bags away. The probability is at the peak of the bull run, these things are probably going to be worth millions of dollars. So if you want to participate in that, again, use those links below. Sign up to BitGet if you want to take the trade with me. If you want to use the grid bot, this is where you find it. You go through to this order section. You click on that little robot, trading bots. Then you go to the spot grid. And then you go to, of course, the coin that you're looking at, right? Or manual, sorry, switch from AI onto manual, and then type in the prices. Lowest price, what is the lowest price that things should go to, and what is the highest price? So, for example, let's just say you want to scale in from $1 up to $1.50. Then you'd write $1 there, $1.50 there. Select the number of grids that you want. Select how much capital you want to put in. And then literally just say create, and it'll create the bot. There's my bot. It's already being created, right? So this thing is busy operating. And let's see, is there anything I can see over here in terms of details? Okay, only 1 or 2 of the orders have filled on the bot. So we're still waiting to see if it will go deeper. Okay, moving on. Other coins that you must have. Other coins that you must have. I mean, this is simple fact, right? Of course, this could change. I'm not advocating that you buy the top of anything. You have to get confirmation in order to get to the top. Caleb says over here, if you're a trader who's bullish on Bitcoin, then Solana must be at the top of your trading list, right? And if you look at BTC in the orange and Sol in the blue, then this is the outlook, right? When Bitcoin rises, Solana just outperforms Bitcoin, rises quicker. When BTC falls, Solana underperforms BTC, right? And he says it's that simple. It's not perfect, but the correlation exists. So Solana's not crashing as hard as Bitcoin when Bitcoin crashes, but when Bitcoin pumps, Solana pumps even harder. Hence, it's one of our biggest positions. And when alt season, again, I'll ask you the question, when alt season? Well, ultimately, you can have full confirmation of alt season when Ethereum breaks above its all-time highs. At that point, you go into full-blown alt season. That's when everybody accepts that, it's a thing, it's alt season. Chuck your money at any coin and it's going to go up week after week after week. That is the presence of alt season. But with that being said, I have to let you know that when alt season does start, it's very short-lived, right? You're looking at about a couple of weeks, maybe 12 to 16 weeks, and alt season is finished. So pay attention when alt season does begin. You want to establish those positions now. Hence, I started to build some of those positions in the likes of Sui, right? You're also looking at ETH BTC, which has still got its big move up over here. We need to reclaim 0.0557. If you reclaim 0.0557, then you've broken back into the range, and then it's going to be looking good. Look at the fair value gap, right? We hit the fair value gap, and you got an immediate reaction off of that. Instant reaction, which is pretty amazing. The other thing you could look at to determine alt season is the Bitcoin dominance. Now, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance as per Yoda, he says alt season is coming in a few weeks, right? Literally in a few weeks. And I'll show you my chart as well. He's got it marked out nice and clean, super, super clean, right? You have the rising wedge over here, which broke down. You break back up into the range high, come down, establish a new range. This is a key level. 58%. Now, if you do start to break that down, then alt season will commence, and we're very, very close, right? There it is, zooming in. We're waiting to lose the yellow box. The yellow box is the mid-range. It's key support. We also have the upsloping trend line. As soon as you close a candle below that, that's going to be the signal, right? I think you're going to start to see the flow of money quickly go into Bitcoin, out of Bitcoin into altcoins. And then we're expecting this trajectory over here to play out, which is the breakdown. Definitely going to get a bounce. Definitely going to get a huge bounce off of this 50% level. Possibly all the way back up here to about 53, 54. And then the next push through, I think, will be the last leg of that altcoin season. So that's what we're looking at. Total 3 as well is showing signs of strength. You can see the bullish absorption which has been taking place over here, right? If you look at these candles over here, look at that over there, boom, 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 failure to break down, right? You have a long-term trend line over here, and it's just failure to break down, failure to break down, failure to break down, hitting into that multiple times, bullish absorption. You're now breaking into the yellow zone, which is, in terms of your range, when you look at trading, you need to think of the range levels, right? If you're in the top half, so the range that price is operating in right now is this zone over here. This is where price is operating. If you're above the 50% level, so if you grab your measuring tool over there and you say, well, where's the 50% level? It's there, right? Look at the tool over here. The Fibonacci tool marks out the 50% level. If price is above that 50% level, then we're expecting a consolidation in the yellow zone for a little bit longer, a couple more weeks. So similar to what Yoda shares over here, in a few weeks, Bitcoin dominance probably breaks down. Total 3 breaks towards the upside, builds pressure into the resistance. Now, hitting resistance, it all depends on how you get to that resistance level, right? So, for example, if this is resistance and price comes up vertically into that resistance, I would bet 99 times out of 100 that the first hit of that level is going to result in a sharp decline, right? Same is true in terms of support. So if this was a very, very strong level of support and price comes at a strong angle, 90-degree angle towards the downside, hits that support, 99 times out of 100, you're going to bounce aggressively towards the upside. But it's different when price grinds into that level. That's why you have to ask yourself, how did price approach that level? If price approaches an area of resistance like this, and it's grinding, and grinding and grinding. That leads to big explosive breakouts, at which point you can say that you'll start to fulfill this measured move, which will take you up to 1.25 trillion. Okay, so with that being said, now's the time to make money, right? Now's the time to find those positions. Now's the time to make money. So yes, as 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗡 says, Will Smith, smash that like button. Will Smith, smash that like button. Also, please drop your altcoin requests in the comment section. I'm going to get to those in just a moment. We're almost done here. And then we can do the altcoin requests. I also wanted to encourage those of you who are trying to go full-time into crypto. You want to make money on the side. Check out 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢, right? By just simply engaging, which is what you're doing right now. You're engaging with the YouTube channel. You can engage on the 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢 platform. You can go to their chat and earn feature over here. And when you click on that, it'll take you through to this page where you can ultimately complete various different campaigns, right? Like here, you can win or you can earn 100,000 of these various different coins. Here, you can earn 950 USDT, right? Tether. Just simply by clicking on that and interacting. There's a link below to 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢. Go check that link out if you have the time on your hands. I think this is a great way. The other way is if you want to be more passive, you can buy their token and stake it as well. Okay, so there's 𝗕𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗓 for you. Let's continue. Stock market looking good. Dow Jones having a little bit of a pullback over here, but it has had closing prices at new all-time highs, which ultimately is pretty good, right? So give it a little bit more time and this thing will consolidate a little bit more at all-time highs, and then you'll start to see explosive moves up, and we expect that crypto will be the catch-up trade. Now, Nancy Pelosi gave some stuff away, right? Yesterday, we brought it up on the stream over here. Here's the token, Nancy Pelosi. So we said we're looking at it coming into this as a key level of support, sitting at about a $5 million market cap. And obviously, it bounced, right? Big push up towards that range high. Hasn't broken the range high yet, but look, it started to get selling pressure into the range high, came back down, creating yet another high low. So this is just the proof, right, that we gave it away. These are the winners. If you are one of these people, well, you should have $500 worth of Pelosi in your wallet, right? Okay, so go through, check that out. Yeah, there we go. One of the political fi meme coins that we've been trading over here. I have a small bag. I'm going to hold it. I have a small bag. I wouldn't consider myself a massive holder, but I do have a small bag. I'm willing to place a bet. Cool. Let's move on. Let's move on. Now, also, remember, we just finished yesterday the final cohort of Whale School. Congratulations, or the final workshop of that cohort. That was cohort number 4. Congratulations to all of you who made it. Here's just a quick example of what Whale School's like for some of the audience. If you do want to participate, there is a link in the description below. We're taking enrollments for the next one, which is coming up very soon.
10 years ago, I didn't have a penny in the bank. Now I'm comfortable, I can retire. 15 years ago, I lost my house, my family, my wife, my daughter. I lost everything. Probably drunk too much, probably did smoke too much weed, everything that you shouldn't do when you're depressed. And I didn't see a way forward. Unfortunately, my mother passed away, a couple of years ago. She was very ill. She made it to 89, so it was expected. But she left me, obviously, a house to sell. And rather than spend it, I invested it in stocks, but I didn't really know what to do. And I found Crypto Banter. I've been following you for the last 2 years, and I'm learning all about Bitcoin, and I have invested over half of my savings in. I got in at some good entry points thanks to you, Carl, and now I actually have a future. I've got a lovely house that's paid for. I don't have a mortgage. I've got money in the bank. I can invest. And so I just wanted to share it with the group that, if you're feeling low and you're on your own, to me, I promise you that you can get through it.
Okay, guys, so if you do want to join Whale School's next enrollment is coming up. It'll take you through to this page. Put in your email address. Use only this link, please, where we've discovered that there's actually a lot of sites out there. Don't Google it. There's a lot of sites out there that are basically stealing your information and attempting to hack you. So please don't go try Google this. Literally go through to the link in the description below. You'll see Whale School. Here it is. Use that exact link so you do not get hacked, right? Only click that link, sign up, Join Well School, fill in your email address. It has changed many lives. I know many of you right here in the comments have already completed Well School. It's a wonderful, wonderful community of like-minded people that you'll get to know as well. And it's all my knowledge, right? Everything that's taken me to where I'm currently at is in that course, right? And it's free. Free, by the way, valued at $3,000, but the exchanges are covering the fees. If you go through below over here, you can see these guys are covering the cost of the course for you. They're paying for it, which means you get it for free. All right. Now, with that being said, let's go into some of those altcoins. Let's just quickly find our altcoin chart. Where are you, sir? This one. Okay. Altcoin requests. What do we have? Let's see. Okay, 𝗏. How's 𝗏 doing? Haven't looked at 𝗏 for quite some time. Has 𝗏 caught a bid yet? That is the question. All right. Okay, I mean, it's attempting to make a little bit of a recovery. Let's go on the 12-hour time frame just to see things a little bit better. This is the level to reclaim. So if the rest of the market does start to get moving, I would expect that you would get some sort of a reclaim over here. Flipping this level into support will be significant, so we can tighten that up a bit. Basically, if you can start to close any candles above this high that occurred on Tuesday, the high level will be 0.5033. Close a candle above that, and I would consider this a deviation, a reclaim of the range level, and then you can start to target up towards the next zones, which is going to be right over here, right? That becomes your next target at about 80 cents. Myro, let's have a look at Myro. Okay, Myro not looking too bad. Definitely not looking too bad. Definitely respecting this trend line over here and the support levels. So big bounce off of there. This is your next level, or at least resistance level that's going to be coming up. Would I long it over here? No, because it's coming up into resistance. What is your risk to reward over here? Not very good, right? So not worth longing. But if you are already long, then 100% keep holding it as it pushes up into this zone over here. If you can push straight through, reclaim and hold, well, now you can target back up to those highs, right? Then we'll be looking really good. Otherwise, be careful for profit taking in that region, and a deviation below, you might then start coming all the way back down. Okay, Ondo, one of the stronger real world asset coins. Let's have a look. Okay, and that it is, right? Strong. This is what I'm talking about with the grind into support. If you see price grinding into support like this for prolonged periods of time, it's telling you that the market is most likely going to have an explosive move through that level towards the upside. So Ondo is definitely looking strong. It's for sure one of the strongest coins that are out there. Casper, somebody asked for Casper. Let's have a look. Very nice. So that higher low is now confirmed. Casper is starting to move. This is resistance, though, that's about to approach at 14.55. So 14.55, that's 14 cents. Again, similar to every other chart, you know, if it can push through that level and hold it, well, that becomes support. And now you can say, well, you're leaving this long-term range, right, that price was struggling within so much, and you're opening up the possibility to trade within a new range, which would look like that. That becomes the new range high. All right, let's go to Audi. Let's see, I haven't looked at Audi for absolutely ever. How's Audi doing? Okay. Well, it is holding the support level over here, so that's the zone that must hold. You don't want to see closing candles below, but it probably needs a bit more time to reaccumulate. This won't go vertical straight away. This is probably going to chop here for quite some time, something like this, to be honest. Create a new base, and then at a later stage, it could start to pick up. So if you wanted Audi in your long-term portfolio, I'd probably set some orders just under this green line for little scam wicks that come into that zone. Those become the opportunity. Okay, let's look at Bonk. Where's Bonk? Here's Bonk. Okay, Bonk's looking good. This is your next level of resistance. It is approaching this zone over here. That's going to be at... I'm not even going to read it out, guys. Just go look at those highs. It's got too many numbers over there. Percentage-wise, another 10%, and it is going to hit resistance. Whiff. Okay, whiff, we said you'd be lucky to get a little wick that comes down over here, but at the end of the day, anything at the bottom over here is range low support, and you're looking for price to move. It has already started to bounce from there, so I don't know if there's KOLs or influencers that started to push this, and suddenly it's moving before hitting the key level. But technical analysis wise, $2.24 was the level to watch. Okay, let's go to ICP, right? Haven't looked at ICP either for a very, very long period of time. So how's this one looking? This is it. Is that all the history, or is it just not loading? Yeah, that's the start. Okay, I'm sure there's more history on this chart. So honestly, I can't comment too much with this chart over here. There isn't much history, but this was the prior range high acting as resistance. Okay, let's go to Injective. We know Injective created new swing lows. So I want to see, is Injective picking up? Where's Injective? Injective should be here somewhere. There it is. Okay, new swing lows. This is resistance. That's what we looked at the last time. You're hitting that resistance and starting to reject. It probably needs time, guys. Probably needs time to reaccumulate over here. Render. Let's have a look at Render, which has been one of the stronger performers, but very hard to get a long entry in this because it's already moved so much, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So there's Render. See, same comment as last time. Render's just super choppy. It's all over the place. I can't take a trade on this personally unless it comes all the way back down into a deeper extremity, right? These are the extremities. There. That would open up the opportunity. If Render were to flush down back to $7, that opens up the chance for long. Right now, it's in the middle of no man's land. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'm going to cut it there. Please make sure you use the links in the description below. Sign up to Whale School. Check out Evo. Participate in banter bags. It's all tools used for your own benefit. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day, and cheers for now.